And you look at it from a physical standpoint, we just talked about two of the key players on this team. Miles Sanders had to leave early again with the same ankle injury that knocked him out of 3 games in Las Vegas. He got knocked out early against the Giants. So you can tell that's a nagging injury. And then Jason Kelce, who got injured against the Giants, fought through it, came back in the game. Now he has to leave again against the Jets. Those guys need this week badly.
Got the Mac and Mac guys here on Birds 365. Hour number 2 coming your way. Chris Franklin, NJ.com. Eagles Beat guys should join us coming up in 50 minutes or so. John, we have reached the bye. We just talked about it before we wrapped up with JK. Yes, late in the season. Yes, the Birds had to endure playing 11 games with no break whatsoever. It is a lengthy wait until you get into the season to have your bye. But as I said, now it's a good thing because they've got a week off. When 28 of the other teams will be doing battle next week, the Eagles and 3 other teams have the week off. They're at an advantage. It had been a disadvantage to this point. It becomes a major advantage. Certainly for the guys who are hurt, you get a little extra rest up time, a little more treatment. You don't have to worry about putting a practice or a walkthrough in. You can just stick to rest, recuperation, and getting ready for the home stretch of the season. How much of a plus is it on the mental side that you get to take a break? That you're not a National Football League player. I'm not a National Football League player. I think that 99.99% of the people watching us now on Birds 365, I bet you there's one ex-NFL guy who's watching us as we speak. But that's it. So we're all trying to relate. Everybody likes a break from work. Everybody needs a little downtime. Everybody needs a vacation, needs to unwind, unplug every once in a while. How much of a plus is that for the Eagles right now at this time?
Oh, I think it's a huge plus, and that's what Nick Sirianni was trying to do when he scaled back the Wednesday practices over the past couple of weeks to walk through. He was trying to get the Eagles to this point as healthy and as juvenated as possible. Now they can rejuvenate and get the little break. Now it's not the same as pre-COVID times. You know, in the old days, people would race out of the city, go home, take a little vacation. Now it's so difficult. You know, the testing, the up protocols, you don't even know where the NFL is. And you got to keep vigilant on that kind of stuff. So it's more of a staycation than ever. But it's still from a mental standpoint, it certainly helps the players. And you look at it from a physical standpoint, we just talked about two of the key players on this team. Miles Sanders had to leave early again with the same ankle injury that knocked him out of 3 games in Las Vegas. He got knocked out early against the Giants. So you can tell that's a nagging injury. And then Jason Kelce, who got injured against the Giants, fought through it, came back in the game. Now he has to leave again against the Jets. Those guys need this week badly to get healthy. And again, we'll see where Jason Kelce is because that one concerns me a lot. Obviously, Miles is okay. He's going to try to play. But to give that week, that extra week, to calm that ankle down a little bit. And then you look at it from the standpoint, Jody, this is the most important standpoint for me. I believe, and I'll double check, but I believe Washington is playing the Cowboys this week.
They got the Cowboys twice yet. Washington's got 5 games left.
Yeah,
2 Eagles, 2 Cowboys, 1 Giants.
And they're getting ready for the Cowboys, which is obviously a big game for Washington. And, you know, the Eagles get to sit back and from a coaching staff perspective, they already get to start to prepare for Washington. Washington can't worry about the Eagles until they get by the Cowboys. So in theory, you have a home game because the first game is in Lincoln Financial Field after the bye. You have the home game. You have the extra time to prepare. There's no reason the Eagles shouldn't be ready from a game planning perspective for the Washington football team. They should have the advantage.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, you can always ask a question. That's
I'll,
what you do.
I'll explain to you why I feel I must need to ask permission to ask this question. Because the last time I went down this road, I got roasted. A little bit here on the stream, certainly on Twitter thereafter, when I suggested that when the Eagles coaching staff, Nick Sirianni references, yes, when a big game's on TV, he and his coaches will be texting each other
texting. They'll
during
be
the
texting.
game when they're watching. And I suggested, just me, I would think that getting together in a room, be it somebody's house, be it a closed room at a bar, be it at the Eagle facility, in a conference room with big screen TVs, that it might be advantageous for the Eagles coaches to somehow carve out 3.5 hours to spend together in the same room, watching the game at the same time, might be advantageous to the Eagles' chances to win going forth in the season. And man, did I get crushed on social media and here. They don't have lives. They're not robots.
Yeah.
They don't get downtime. If you're going to be watching the game and you're going to be texting anyway, you're not smooching the wife. You're not spending quality time with the kids. You're watching the stinking game. And I just suggested it might be advantageous if all the Eagles coaches got together and watched it in the same room. I felt that then. I very much feel that now. Now that we're down the home stretch, there's only 4 games to go. And you have a game such as the Cowboys and the Washington football team, who you yourself played 3 times in the last 4 weeks of the season. So I really think this could be advantageous to the Eagles. Am I being an asshole here, John? Am I doing the jerky thing again that I don't care about the coaches' lives, that I care about the Eagles winning games down the stretch?
I don't think you're being an asshole. I just think it's overblown to a degree. When Nick was told that story, I remember that story. He's talking about, number one, he was talking about college games. So the Eagles coaches had gone home, whatever. It was probably home game week. So it was probably later in the afternoon. It was probably Saturday night when they were all on a group text, texting each other. He always talks about they love college football. We just talked about college football, and they try to take things from college games. I always talk about football is the only industry where innovation trickles up, not down. High school is more innovative than college. College is more innovative than pro. It's kind of weird, but that's how it works in football. So he's talking about that. Second, I mean, Shane Steichen told a story when they were all at the NovaCare complex watching the nationally televised game together. I mean, it's sort of just a timing aspect of it. And he was just telling a funny story. Not funny, but he was telling the story. I always encourage Nick Sirianni to do stuff like that because he's a personable guy. I always like more information, not less information. I don't want Andy Reid. I don't want coach speak. I don't want all that crap. So I love when Nick does stuff like that. I just think it was overblown. I mean, they watch games when they're working, and they work a lot. They watch games together. If they're on at night, they're there. It's a night game. They're working late. They watch them together, and they don't even watch them. They're on in the background because they're working. They're doing other stuff. They're breaking down film. They're doing their game planning. They're doing stuff like that. He was specifically just talking about nighttime college game. They were all texting each other. Their wives were probably angry at him because they said, "You're done." You know how that works. Go spend some time with the kids. Yeah, so I don't think it's asshole. I just think it's overblown. I don't think they sit and they're just doing it as football coaches. Nick always says he can't watch football anymore as a fan. He watches it as a coach.
As a coach, sure.
So
he should.
Yeah, exactly. So when he sees something defensive, something he likes, he says he'll text JG. When he sees something offensively, he'll text Shane Steichen and Kevin Patullo and Brian Johnson, say that was cool, stuff like that. I don't think it's a big thing either way.
Okay, then I'll ask you, even though I know you guys have only X amount of questions you can get to, and each individual has a question. Sometimes you can sneak in a follow up, but I don't know if you can get a follow up in. Some of you guys are very good, and McMullen, you're pretty good at it. Getting the old question in.
Oh,
I
yeah.
have part A and part B, and
Sometimes I forget part B, but you try
yes,
to get it in,
you
especially
do,
on Zoom.
and a couple of your compatriots are very good at it too. I'm just hoping someone asks the coach today, well, you're going to be Sunday afternoon. It's the bye week. You're down. Everybody taking downtime, whatever. The Redskins are playing the Cowboys. I don't even know what time the game is. We'll look that up in a second. Where are you going to be? And he probably can't answer for his coaches, but if he does, and or with your coaches would be the way I would put the question. I really do hope that the coaching staff is together for Washington, Dallas come this Sunday.
I just a guess. I mean, he'll get asked bye week questions. It's not a bye week for the coaches. Number one, I mean, they're working. They're not.
Right.
They're not. They're not. They're not going away. They're not. So ultimately, I would guess that. When is that game?
I'm looking it up right now as we speak. I know
if it's a day game, yeah, I mean they're going to be at the NovaCare complex, and it's a 1 o'clock game. Yeah, they're going to be working.
All right. That's all I wanted to hear. And if that makes me a bad guy again, because I say I want the Eagles coaches to putting in a little extra time to be ready for three of their next 4 opponents at FedEx.
And by the way, coaches work too much. God bless them. They exaggerate that crap. I don't know. Steve Spurrier did okay. He was golfing at 3 o'clock every day. He did okay.
Some have the ability to get away, sneak away, blatantly throw it in your face that they're away. That's why Steve Spurrier coaching career ended. Others, yes, are so committed that they like Dick Vermeil, put the cot in the office because you don't know when you're going to need a nap in your 22nd hour of your 24-hour day. All right, he's John McMullen. I'm Jody McDonald. We'll take a quickie timeout. Chris Franklin of NJ.com, one of our favorite guests, is going to hop aboard next here on Birds.